Universal Audio has released the Capital Mastering Compressor. It's an emulation of the CM5511, the Capitol Records custom-made mastering compressor which has been used by Motown, Def Jam, Black Sabbath to Demi Lovato. Or as you should say it, on everything. Universal Audio's approach was to model the CM5511 exactly and have the sheer wisdom to add the functionality you want and need in a DAW in modern day productions. In regards of the offered functionality, the Capital Mastering Compressor does a lot and very well. The absolute highlights of added functions for me are the Mono Fault, a low-end mono maker. That means that the low end gets summed to mono below the frequency you set. This is a must for most music if you have ever worked with vinyl mastering. Turning it fully down will turn it off, and it does that with a little snap. No mistake here that the function is off. It's a nice little user-friendly touch. The other highlight is the ability to switch between DBFS and LUFS. LUFS, yes, LUFS in the metering section. Finally! This should be standard on any Dynamics plugin. In its default setting with 16 dB on the headroom dial, the input gain knob works with 2 dB intervals for the first 3 steps, and then a half of a decibel. You can also see that there's always a high pass going on, centered around 10 Hz but reaching up to 50. The high frequencies get a boost when you turn up the input gain. Increasing input also increases the number of harmonics. This has nothing to do with the output volume, it's all input. The funny part is when you change the headroom dial, for instance like this high frequency boost and the gain steps change quite a bit. These are dials to play with, which you absolutely should do. When using the plugin, I constantly change between input gain, threshold and the headroom dial to get the compression I want. Does this compressor have a sound? Absolutely. It can smoothen harsher bits in your mix and add life. I also find that the Capital compressor is also grabby. And when you crank the settings, it also works great in a parallel compression setup or when you play with the dry-wet balance. In contrast to its name, the Capital Mastering Compressor is suited for more than just mastering alone. It also lives happily on separate audio tracks and group buses. Let's play around with it on my voice, but not after you have subscribed to this channel to stay up to date on the latest new cool plugins. Here's my voice and the Capital compressor while I talk about the sponsor of this video, DistroKid. Are you an aspiring artist looking for an easy and affordable way to get your music onto popular streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music? Look no further than DistroKid. With its user-friendly platform, DistroKid makes it simple for musicians to distribute their music and start earning royalties from their streams. Plus, you'll keep 100% of the money you earn. So why not try it and see why so many artists use DistroKid to share their music with the world? Sign up today and get 7% off of your first year by using my link in the description of this video. Enough of my voice, here's a female vocal. First, the raw uncompressed audio track.
Early mornings and late night snacks, blankets hogging and pillow attacks. Life seems perfect, but is this for real? Or is this all just something I built in my head? Can we all just...
Let's enable the capital compressor.
Early mornings and late night snacks, blankets hogging and pillow attacks. Life seems perfect, but is this for real? Or is this all just something I built in my head?
You hear that in the second louder half, how this compressor evens out the dynamics sweetly and brings more life thanks to the added tube harmonics. In the first half I would increase the volume manually of the vocal. The difference in level is too big to handle by any compressor. I'll A/B the louder part again.
Is this for real? Or is this all just something I built in my head? Can we all just live in this heaven instead? I think I'm losing it, I have to admit. I've been best. Live in this heaven instead. I think I'm losing it, I have to admit. Live in this heaven instead. I think I'm losing it, I have to admit.
I'll adjust the output gain.
A paradise, building a paradise. Is this for real? Or is this all just something I built in my head? Can we all just live in this heaven instead? I think I'm losing it, I have to admit.
I must say it's pretty tough to set the plugin to the same loudness as when you bypass it. The volume controls aren't refined enough for that. More extreme settings work great as well. Take this kick. This is clean. And this is with the capital mastering compressor. Let's dial back in some of the original sound. You can hear even on small speakers how this compressor can sculpt audio. This compressor makes everything you use it on more alive and exciting. Here's a synth, and hear how it comes more alive and gets a bit of saturation. CPU usage on my system is around 2 to 2.5% with a latency of 1.8 milliseconds. Not much to complain about here. And when I zoom to 200%, it's bigger than an actual 19-inch rack. That's a first. If you are thinking, hey, this plugin reminds me of the Magic Death Eye compressor, you are right. Ian Shevchik of Magic Death Eye created the 4 capital mastering compressors. And he has an in-depth article on his website what precisely the CM5511 compressor is, how much information there's lacking on the universal audio side, and how different the Magic Death Eye and capital compressors are. It's linked in the description if you're interested in that. Also linked in the description is my video of the Brainworks Master Desk Pro, a all-in-one mastering plugin. Or click the video which is displayed on screen.